everybody. This is Young Living Diamond Sarah Harnish, and I am so excited to get to lead another boot camp with all of you guys. We haven't done game plan in forever. I actually wrote another book since the last time that I did a game plan boot camp, and this one's a little bit different than all the other ones that we have done in the past. So I'm super stoked about it because we've never done an intensive. So this is something that you guys requested, and it's really special because the content for it is unique. It is a bit different than what we've done in the past, and it's going to be very tight and very condensed. So if you need something that you can give to your team and it is speedy and you can keep them engaged, then you're completely in the right place. And I am so honored that you are spending your time right here with me live tonight. So this is going to be in the same format of what you guys are used to, where we have an oil of the night and we'll work through some content out of the game plan book. And I'm going to do some demos for you. We're going to have some prayer cover. There's going to be accountability. There's going to be homework. And it's just 5 nights. So instead of having to get on for a really long 20 or 30-day boot camp, we're going to be collecting these videos, putting them up on my Facebook page, but also putting them up on the oilabilityteam.com website, and you'll be able to watch them up there. So this is the very first intensive that I have ever done. What are you going to need to do it? You're going to need the same things that you've had in good old game plan before. So you will need a game plan book. I would recommend the second edition book because the content is updated quite a bit. And I would recommend a workbook. So the workbook will tailor all the training in the book directly to you. So it's going to take all those concepts of, how to connect with people and what your goals look like and your whys, and it's going to custom fit it all directly to you. So it is pretty amazing. You grab the work in the workbook, the book in the workbook, you grab this video and you're off and running, and then it's time for some fire. So maybe you're on live and you're by yourself and you just join me the next 5 nights. Maybe you start your boot camp with your team tomorrow night and you take these videos and you post them in your business page and then do a live Q&A afterwards. Maybe you and your team hop on and watch these videos after the fact and you read through the book together over the next 2 weeks. Maybe you decide that this kickstarts a whole regular game plan boot camp for you and you go grab the original videos off of my site. The nice thing is there's really no wrong way of doing this. If you're doing just the book, you're going to get blessed. If you're doing just these videos, you're going to get blessed, and it's going to turn you around and get you facing the right direction. So we're going to be covering about 5 or 6 chapters a night pretty loosely. You're going to feel me moving very quickly through the chapters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on either later in the evening or the next day or a couple days later and go through and try to answer some of the questions. Now, on an average bootcamp video, I'll get 1,000 to 2,000 questions. So it takes a while for me to get through all of them. But I love you guys, and I'm going to do my best to try to answer as many questions as I see if you guys are on here live. But as far as the boot camp goes, you'll be getting the highlights. So the rest you're going to study on your own as you're able, and whatever you're able to absorb is perfect. It's exactly what the Lord had for you. So don't feel bad if you are behind. Don't feel bad if you didn't get to read all 6 chapters. Don't feel bad, because it's going to be delivered to you in exactly the way that you can handle for right now. What I can tell you is, our businesses have changed a lot in the last year since COVID. The pandemic has changed a lot of things, and you might be feeling lost. You might be feeling out of sorts. You might not be sure. Maybe you lost your rhythm. Maybe you had a really good rhythm going and all your leaders were running with you, and all of a sudden you turn around, there's nobody behind you. So I wanted to do another game plan boot camp, a tight one, because I want to speak to some of those places. I've been collecting your questions for the last week. My husband and I have been praying over you guys. We've been praying over your teams. We've been fasting, and we've been getting ready for this boot camp for a very long time. So I'm really excited. I got up at 7 this morning and have just been rehearsing and practicing this content for about 15 hours straight to make sure that it's exactly what the Lord would have for you guys tonight. So I don't want you to feel like it's something that's slapped together. It comes with a lot of prayer and a lot of thought on exactly what you need for the questions that you're asking me. So after we're done with the content, I'm going to give you homework, and then each night I grab 3 or 4 questions that were pre-selected, and I'm going to answer them roundtable style, but very quickly. So rather than doing an entire night just on one question, I'm just going to give you a quick answer and point you to a tool so that you feel empowered. All right. Where do you find Game Plan? Where can you get these books? You can grab them on Amazon. They're up there right now. I posted a link a couple times this week for you, but you just type in Game Plan Sarah Harnish, it'll come right up. You can go to my website and get them in bulk for your team and run your team through Game Plan. What I can tell you about this book is thousands and thousands and thousands of people have used it to rank up. It is the only book in all of Young Living that gives you a full overview of everything in the business, from strategy to, excuses, to distraction, to VO tours, to all sorts of stuff. It is just an amazing, comprehensive, simple book. Most of the chapters are a couple pages long. It's not overwhelming. And this is the book that just caused the boom. There's over 1,500 5-star reviews on Amazon, and it's caused a shift in so many people's businesses. So maybe you haven't done it with your new people. Maybe even you haven't taken them through it, and this would be a really good time to do that. If it's been 3 years since you've done a boot camp yourself, this is a good time to go run it. We're in the fall rush. We have got a holiday catalog coming out here soon. It's a good week to just say, all right, here we go. Like, let's get ready. Let's get ready for the next thing. If you want to be able to read tonight and you don't want to get behind in the reading, you can download the Kindle version and read it electronically. You can listen to the Audible version. Both of those are instant downloads. If you're listening from the other side of the world, that would be a blessing to you. So run it with your leaders, post the videos. And if you do it, you'll see OGV growth. If you do it with your leaders, you'll see big OGV growth. So this book got me to Diamond. We saw a 70,000 OGV growth the month after I did boot camp and my team started applying all the things from it. Then I wrote Unstuck, and we've grown 160,000 OGV since I did that boot camp. So Unstuck, we're going to do an intensive on that book coming up next month. So you want to stay tuned for that. All right, here we go. I've been waiting for so long to do this with you. I'm very excited. I just want to ask you, I am so ready for you guys. I know who you are, but do you know who you are? Do you know that you have the blood of a diamond coursing through your veins? Do you walk with confidence? Do you hold your head high? I don't know that I even started doing that until I hit the rank of diamond, and maybe even a little bit after the rank of diamond. I didn't know who I was. And so let's start with a little oil aromatherapy. And I want you guys to grab the bottle of Release. That's our oil for tonight. And just take a deep breath in, put a little in your hands, do some hand cupping, breathe it. And let's do a 30-second aromatherapy training with you. And then we're going to jump right into chapter 1. And I am going to fly through the first 6 chapters of Game Plan in the most powerful way that I can. So here's your 30-second oils lesson tonight. Each night has a theme, and each oil coincides with the theme. So some of these might be oils that I've used in other boot camps, and that's okay. It's totally all right. The theme tonight is why. Why are you doing this? Why does Young Living matter? You can't answer that question if you have pent up self-doubt, if you have unbelief, if you have anger being held in your liver. So our oil for tonight is Release. And I went back to the second desk reference for the training on this oil. And it said that this oil blend may stimulate a sense of harmony and balance within the mind and the body, and may help release anger and memory trauma from the cells of the liver, bringing a sense of peace and of well-being. Letting go of negative emotions and releasing frustration enables one to progress in a positive way. So my question for you is, can you see your way out of where you are right now? If you were to make a list of the top 5 things driving you crazy in your life, whether it's caring for an elderly family member, or trying to deal with teenage hormones in your house, or the busyness of just being in the fall, or maybe the opposite side, the loneliness you feel during the pandemic and not being able to do some of the things that you could do before, letting go of some of those negative emotions, some of that frustration enables you to move forward. So this is what I want you to focus on tonight. In this blend, these are some of the oils in it. Ylang Ylang restores confidence, and it restores your belief that you are enough, that you are capable, that you are able, that you have every single skill that you need to be able to build all the way to diamond and crown diamond and royal crown diamond. Geranium stimulates your nerves. It gets some of that communication going between your brain and the organs in your body and all the different cells. And it helps to release negative memories. It opens you to new thoughts that you might have overlooked because you were focusing on the problem and not the solution. I want you guys to focus on the solution. That is the purpose of the next 5 days, is digging you out of where you are, not focusing on where you are, but seeing that light and moving toward it and getting out of where you are. If you can't see your way out, you can't move from where you are. And I want you moved. I want you hitting rank, right? So I'm super, super excited about what we're going to be covering in the next couple of days. So sandalwood gets right to the pineal gland, and it's the center of your emotions. You're going to let that stuff go. We're not just going to focus on a way out, but we're going to focus on, hey, how do I get how do I get to where I need to be? Oh, I do that by letting go, not holding on to things. With the Unstuck Intensive, we're going to focus a lot on surrender and fear. Those are the themes of that intensive. Blue tansy, another oil in this blend, and it helps you to overcome anger and negative emotions. It stimulates self-control. You can do this. So what I want you guys to do is to put some of these oils over your liver tonight. If you don't know where that is, feel your rib cage and feel underneath the right side of your rib cage. And that's right where your liver is, right underneath that bottom bone. So just rub a whole bunch right there. Put it in your diffuser right next to your head when you go to sleep. Don't put your diffuser on the other side of the room. Go put it right next to your head. Put it on the bottoms of your feet. Put it behind your ears on that mastoid bone. It's going to give you a feeling of freedom. It's going to give you a feeling of being unburdened. So with that, are you ready? Are you ready for the next couple of days and what we have in front of us? It's a huge emotional session. We're going to run you up and down your emotions. But if you can walk with me and make it to the end of day 5 and really grab your business by the horns and say, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the next thing the Lord has for me. We are going to run really hard together. So with that, I'm going to do a little screen share here with you. And I love using Zoom on Facebook because it allows you guys to see the things that I can see. And I'm going to hop over to my PowerPoint. I have some cool things to show you in the PowerPoint. First thing I want to show you is a beautiful photo of this man right here, who is Mr. Doc Ollie. You guys might know him. He's an amazing man. I'm going to go to slideshow, and from current slide, just show that to you. I want to open up our game plan training tonight with the foreword to the second edition, which was so beautifully put together by Doc Ollie. Who's one of my best friends in Young Living. And this beautiful woman here is Kathy, who's one of my gold leaders. I went to Gary's house and I taught for several days. I taught Doc Ollie's team from Europe. They had flown in and stayed on site at the lodge where Gary is buried. And I did a whole retreat for Doc Ollie and his team. And he has just been such a blessing to me. I love him so much. We're actually racing to see who gets to Royal Crown Diamond first. But he wrote the foreword to me to Game Plan because somebody put Game Plan in his hands when he was a gold. And I want to share his words with you. If you're thinking, well, there's a lot of business training that's out there. Maybe this book isn't really my jam. It was Ollie's jam, and Ollie's a Crown Diamond. And so let me let him speak for the book for me. He said, when I was a gold distributor, I picked up this book, and I am now a Young Living Crown Diamond. 2 years ago, my wife, Ellen, gave me and everyone else in the family the same Christmas gift, Sarah Harnish's book, Game Plan. I immediately started reading it, as did our children, and during Christmas break, we had lively discussions around the dinner table as we were all astounded and excited about the things that we learned while studying this book. We are a true Young Living family. We believe in everything that this company produces and the lifestyle. We use all the products. We're excited about the business opportunity. However, despite our enthusiasm, our team building seemed to have hit a wall. After reading Sarah's book, we were re-energized and we were full of new ideas. And we decided that all of our team leaders should experience the same and have a chance to use Sarah's ideas and strategies as well. So shortly after the holidays, we ordered a whole bundle of her Game Plan books. And so sweet, Sarah added a lot more to it after she heard the Christmas gift story. So we sent them all to our team leaders, and the feedback was enormous and overwhelmingly positive. And this enthusiasm caused ripples of growth throughout our entire team. Our whole leaders were sharing and recommending the book, and we soon felt the tremendous impact that this had on our growth, taking them from the rank of gold and that OGV in their legs to the rank of Crown Diamond by running Game Plan boot camps. After sharing our own diamond experience with Sarah and meeting her in person at the convention, we were more inspired by her than ever. She's not just a great teacher, but also an incredibly generous and caring human being, a true example of the principles of Young Living: sharing, caring, doing, helping, and encouraging others to switch to a healthy, supportive lifestyle while building an opportunity to add or even fully support your family, as well as the causes dear to your heart. For us personally, this translated into a chance not only to have a secure retirement income, but also to make our dearest dream come true: building a rescue sanctuary for unwanted and abandoned dogs. This dream is slowly taking shape, and we owe Sarah a debt of gratitude for having a part in it. If you're reading this, congratulations. You're obviously ready to take your Young Living organization to the next level by applying and sharing the game plan strategies that Sarah so generously shares with all members. Ollie Wanker, Young Living Crown Diamond. So I thought maybe that would inspire you guys and get you excited as we jump right into it, so that you know where we're going. And one of my besties using this as well. So one of the big questions I get is, can I still build a business during the pandemic? Like, is this even possible? I want to tell you, our OGV, my team's OGV, is up 165,000 since teaching the core 4 and now the core 5 classes, which are oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, and soon the kids class as well. So yes, the answer is yes. People ask me all the time, do classes really work, Sarah? Like, I don't know. I'm more into the posting on social media, building that way. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to throw any way of building under the bus. If you are out there and you are sharing with the way that the Lord has laid on your heart, you're doing an amazing, awesome job. I can tell you, corporate has told me that 70% of all of the builders in Young Living, that's silvers, golds, platinums, diamonds, crowns, royals, 70% built with in-person classes, and 30% built with all the other methods that are out there combined. 30%. 70% saw success the other way. We're talking diamonds, crowns, royals, like the people that you guys want to emulate and follow. So if 70% of people are out there using scripts, sitting in front of human beings, building relationships, and 30% are building the other way, and I have not tried either way, I'm gonna go try building by sitting in front of human beings and teaching, because I don't have any background in network marketing. This is the first network marketing company that I have ever done. So we're going to jump right into chapter 1. And I believe so deeply in scripts. I believe they empower your leaders who don't have the words to say, who are just learning alongside you and learning what the oils do. I think if you put a script in a new leader's hand, they can start teaching that day. They can start teaching that night. But if you tell them, all right, I need you to build a platform, I need you to post on oils, learn about product, the products, they're going to feel really overwhelmed. All right, really, really overwhelmed. So let's jump right into the whole theme of this evening, which is why. Why do a Young Living business? And the question I have for you is, have you forgotten your why? We don't fight because we don't have any reason to fight. We're content. But what if you weren't content? What if you were to pause tonight and think about how you spend your 40-hour work week, what you're doing in a given 40 hours? And for some of you guys, it might be being a stay-at-home mom, and you're like, Sarah, shoot, I talk to toddlers all day long. Like, that is my 40 hours, right? But I don't have time to build a Young Living business because I'm talking to toddlers 40 hours a week. Maybe you're a dental hygienist. Maybe you're out there and you're the most amazing receptionist on the earth. Maybe you have an office job. Maybe you have a blue collar job and you're working in retail, which is awesome. I did that for 11 years. Maybe you're out there being a delivery driver. Maybe you do DoorDash. Maybe you're an Uber driver. Who knows what it is that you're spending your 40 hours doing? But what I want you to do is think about all the things you do in an 8-hour day, and what that would look like if you took 2 hours of your week and committed it to building this business, and where that would go for you. And I want you to stack it up against what you're doing right now. So if you haven't made a list of pros and cons, I want you to do that. Grab your game plan workbook and sit down and really, truly, I speak fluent toddler, I love you guys, really, truly make a list of what are all the things that drive me crazy about my job, and what are all the things that I love about my job? What are all the things that I really need to change that are not working for me right now? And what are my dreams and goals? Where am I going? And how do I get there? And is my job right now going to get me there? If my job right now is not going to get me where I see myself going, then why are you doing it? Why are you investing 160 hours a month into something that isn't propelling you forward to cross things off of your bucket list and get you to the next thing that the Lord has for you? I believe really strongly and really deeply that God put those desires in your heart because you're supposed to chase them. You're chasing down dreams that are going to make you cross paths with other people that need the hope that you have. They need the testimonies that you have. They need the fight that you have. They need the vision that you have. And you don't cross their paths if you stay content and you stay stagnant and you aren't moving forward and putting one foot in front of another. So if we talk about Young Living specifically, I love to just put a vision in people's heads and of where this can go because we were diamonds 2 years and 5 months after we got our starter kit. And I know what that did to my family. I was facing one direction and now I'm facing 180 degrees the other direction. It's completely the other way. And I look at how my life has changed since I started my Young Living business. And all I want to do from the side of a diamond is paint a picture in your head of where this goes when you say, the fight is worth it. It's worth pursuing because I've been doing what I'm doing right now for the last 10 years and I'm not seeing any forward momentum. I haven't crossed anything off of my bucket list. Therefore, it's time for me to shift what I'm doing or maybe incorporate some new things into what I'm doing so that I do have forward momentum and I'm just not staying in the same place. So, what are some of the perks of a Young Living business? Well, there's no income ceiling. I don't know if you guys have seen the Young Living Income Disclosure Guide. I'm going to show that to you a little bit later on tonight, but you know, the sky is the limit. I mean, you get on and you're building the rank of silver, you get a silver income from the IDS. If you go, you build a gold, you get a gold income. It's not your nickel a year raise or your white collar $100 a month once a year raise. It's not that. Like your raises come incrementally based on how many families you help and how many people you empower. It's awesome. The timing is amazing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the world has changed in the last 8 months. It's shifted. There's a dramatic shift, and people are starting to pay attention to their health, especially now. They're looking at ways to support their immune system, to keep their children safe, to keep their home pure, to kick chemicals out of their house, to build strong systems. They're paying attention to labels. That's a doorway for you to walk through. The Lord has given you a mouthpiece. You are in the perfect place. I mean, I read a post a couple of days ago on the Diamond Chat about the number of businesses that have gone under in the last 6 months. I mean, major businesses, malls that are closing. Look at Regal Cinemas, right? GameStop, whole bunch of places that you're so used to just walking into and buying things. But did you know not one network marketing company has failed since everything started with the pandemic? And part of it is because we don't have brick and mortar stores. We don't have insurance we have to pay on those stores or, electric or utilities or, advertising budgets. All of that is going into use. So we have a lot less overhead that we have to pay, but also a lot of the network marketing companies are wellness companies. We're focused on exactly what people need right now. What does Young Living have? We have diffusers. We have inner defense. We have hand sanitizer, right? I mean, it's crazy. Some of the stuff we have is exactly what people need. And so it's a doorway. Do you ever get frustrated that doctors are out there and they're looking at the symptoms and not looking at the cause? They're not looking at the root cause of why things are the way that they are. Guys, there's a reason, right? There's a reason for that. You guys are in the line of wellness. You are the people that empower people to stand down and say, yeah, I've been doing it this way for 15 years, but maybe there's a reason why I feel the way I feel. Maybe I need to get to some of those underlying things so that I can solve the bigger problem instead of just sitting there and, popping pills. You're your own boss. You set your own hours. That means you decide when you're going to work, how you're going to work, how many hours you're going to put in, what you want to give to this business. I can tell you that John and I built to the rank of diamond with a 2-hour commitment every single week. We got on, we taught a class, right? And for the first 4 ranks, for me, that was all in-person classes. Now with the pandemic, I can teach 3 classes on Zoom in the space of 1 class that I did in person. And I miss that face-to-face interaction. So I still try to pop in and, do some classes in person. I just took an entire week with like 30 of my different teams as we're preparing for Crown Diamond and just went and had FaceTime with them. But the awesome thing is that you control that. Like you get to decide when you're going to work. When I was anchoring news, I didn't get to decide any of that stuff. Like I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, be in the newsroom by 4 o'clock in the morning, 52 weeks a year, 5 days a week. Like it owned me. It owned me. And I love radio. Radio's in my blood. I will probably never stop anchoring news. I have a studio in my house in South Carolina. It's a huge blessing to me, but I don't do it 52 weeks a year. And that is awesome. That's a freedom that I did not feel for the last 23 years of my life. You can take time off and still get paid, right? I mean, that I didn't even know was a perk. It's called residual income, and it's a thing with network marketing. You're building a snowball and you're rolling that snowball up the hill, and you get to a point where it starts rolling down the hill on its own. And I experienced that at Silver Rank, where, we had built to that silver income. It was about 6 months into my business. My son was at a special school on the other side of the country. And I went to go get him, and I brought him home after not seeing him for a year. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything with this business for 30 days. I'm going to focus on him, integrating him back into our home, letting him know how precious he is to me and how valued and how treasured. And I'm not doing all of the things. I'm not teaching a class a week. And I still got a check. A couple days before Christmas, I got a check that was more than my anchoring check. And that really got my attention, because I was like, wait a second, I didn't anchor this month and I did not get a paycheck. But but I did, I didn't teach any classes and I still got a check with Young Living. I don't understand. So I thought I'd do the right thing. And I called corporate and said, hey, I got this check I'm not supposed to get. And there's this pause on the phone, and I hear, honey, do you know how network marketing works? And I realized, no, I don't know how network marketing works. And I didn't understand what residual income is. But when people get on Essential Rewards and they're ordering every month, and they turn around Share Oils and their sister and their mama get it, you're getting a cut of all of that, whether you're there or whether you're not there. And so when you can't be there for the business is still there for you. Okay. And I know you guys are posting, yeah, you get that when you get to a higher rank. Not really. I mean, residual income happens from the very first person that you get on Essential Rewards. That can happen at the rank of star. You already have extra income coming in because of your hard work, training the lifestyle and getting people on Essential Rewards. So, willable income. This is one of the best perks of a Young Living business. And that is, if something happens to you, you write up a will. You leave that with Young Living, set up a trust, leave it with Young Living, and just say, hey, this is where I want my income to go. Something happens to you, that income gets willed to your babies forever. So as a diamond, the average diamond, according to the income disclosure guides, making about $26,000 a month. I have 5 kids. That's $5,000 a month. That means that my kids will never live in the projects. They're never going to go to bed hungry. They're not going to have that hanging over their head, because they have the blessing of the hard work that I have put in. And that gives me a peace that passes all understanding, something that I could never have at my 40-hour-a-week job. Even if you build just for that reason alone, it makes it worth it. Absolutely. You could take time off and still get paid. That's that residual income I was talking about. The relationships that you build in this journey, they will blow your doors off. People that you meet that you can't even imagine your life without them, with some of your upper leaders. And then bonuses. We're going to do some silver bond training tomorrow night, so you do not want to miss that training. I went from executive to silver in 1 month, and I went from senior star to executive in 1 month. And so if you're following that pattern, you're teaching a class a week, and you're getting oils in front of people's faces, and you're teaching the core 4 classes, oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, you're getting those silver bound bonuses. Those are pretty amazing, pretty awesome. And we didn't have those the last time that we did Game Plan Boot Camp. So I'm going to make sure that we're bringing some of that training into this. It's pretty amazing. That's $2,200 in bonuses from star all the way up to the rank of silver. So the question I'm going to ask you is how you're spending your time where you want to go. And if not, then change it, because financial freedom is worth it. Willable income is worth it. Residual income is worth it. You can't free other people when you're in bondage, because you're in bondage yourself. So you can't give that to everybody else. So I'm going to pause here, because I know a lot of you guys, we have 25,000 new people on this page that did not do the original boot camp 3 years ago, are not familiar with Game Plan, maybe got added to this page because they ran across my book or saw me speak once. And so I want to pause here, and just for a couple of minutes, I want to share a little bit of mine and John's story and what's happened with us, because I mean, Young Living, when I tell you it changed our lives, it's it is absolutely not an understatement at all. It is it's changed everything for us. So the face that you're looking into here, not this face, he's very cute. He's 19 years old and he's my son and he's amazing. And this is our baby, Noah Justin, who is 13 years old. But this face right here is my papa. That's my dad. And he has been in 19 DUI crashes. He's lost his license for life. I am the daughter of an alcoholic, and he is still an alcoholic. And um, it's been a really hard journey. Safe houses, everything you can imagine. Hearing my mom get beat up at night, like very bad, verbal abuse, physical abuse, all the things. And I love my dad, but I also love the ability to make different choices for my family and to keep my family safe. And so, I want to empower you if you are involved in an abusive situation, or you are have lived with anybody who is an alcoholic or been involved in any kind of abuse, that there is hope to get out of that. I lived under this my entire childhood. I am 42 years old and I am still dealing with my father. So if you think that you get to the rank of diamond and all of a sudden everything is fixed because you're a diamond, your problems don't go away because you become a diamond. It just becomes easier to say no, easier to draw boundaries, and easier to say, I'm not going to let you impact me in those ways anymore. So I grew up in suburban Chicago in a really poor part of town. And we had a lot of gang activity where I lived and watched my siblings get tormented and victimized by gang members, mostly gang members that were involved in drugs. And my father, we had the whole alcoholism thing and the fleeing thing and all of that going on in safe houses and all that while I was a child. And when I was 16 years old, I met my husband, John, who's amazing, and got engaged 3 weeks after I met him, got married when I was 19, and we had kids. We had our first child 1 year after we got married, and then we had kids every other year for 10 years. I was nursing and having babies. And when you have 5 children and you are living on the edge, it's pretty hard to be able to make ends meet. So this is Gracie, our daughter. So we lived with my parents for the first 3 years we were married, and then we got on a waiting list and we got into the projects, and it kicked off 12 years of living in the projects for us. Our first year that we were married, our annual income on our tax return was $6,000, and that was with John working 2 full-time jobs, me working a full-time job and a part-time job, and having 21 hours in college, and being pregnant with Gabriel. So this is one of our rooms in the project. So she didn't have a lot of furniture. You can see we didn't have beds for the kids. We got Walmart mattresses with our tax return, and we would lay them on the floor. Here's another picture. These are some photos I've never shown you guys before. I went and grabbed some new ones so that you could see some new things. But this is me sitting in the projects. We had tile floors on the kitchen, cinder block walls, donated furniture. We lived on the Salvation Army. This is outside of our house in the projects, and this is with 4 of our 5 kids. Right when we were moving from one projects to another projects, 806 Sproul Street in Dixon, Illinois. So we lived in this one for 6 years, and we lived in the one in DeKalb, Illinois for 6 years. This is a picture of me in my pajamas. Look how exciting that is, with all the kids in the projects when we started homeschooling on top of working our jobs and trying to work my first post-college job. It was really crazy. Then I was so excited because, John worked and put me through school, and I worked and put him through school, and we both graduated. We both got white collar jobs. We had over $70,000 in student loans. We saved and saved and saved. We saved for 15 years, and we were able to buy our first home, and it was a 1,300 square foot house in Bath, New York. We got out of the projects, and this is the back room in there. It had no heat source, and we had 3 of our kids sharing this as a bedroom. So we had one child living here, one child living here, and one child living here, and we had sheets for doorways and bookcases for walls. Here's another shot of it. And no heat source in that back room. And, during all of this, we're on the medical card, we're getting food stamps, we're frequenting food pantries and going to the Salvation Army for our gifts because we had like $20 a week to live on. But we were so excited to have our own place and finally be out of the projects. So we went from this to me getting invited to an oils class, taking 5 months to say yes, getting my starter kit, teaching my first class 2 weeks after getting my starter kit. And the next month was senior star, the next month was executive, and 12 weeks later, silver. And 5 months after that, gold, and 8 months after that, platinum, and 15 months after that, diamond, to getting our diamond home. It's just some shots of our diamond house. And that's why I wrote Game Plan, because I was determined that every single person that wanted to get to the rank of diamond would be able to do it. That you didn't have to pay for training, that you could hop on and get free training, and that nobody would be left behind. And so I just want to empower you over the next 5 days to say, if this is where you are, you can get to that. You know, it's not easy and nobody's going to hand it to you. You have to roll up your sleeves and you have to do things that scare you, and you have to stand on top of fear, and you have to fight when you're exhausted, and you have to continue walking when you feel like you can't walk, and you have to find ways around obstacles that are holding you back. But you do not need to stay here. You do not need to stay here or here or here. Okay. You don't have to stay there. You can fight and move forward and pull yourself out of the places where you are. These are our kids' bedrooms. And this is my son seeing his bedroom for the first time after living for 15 years in the projects and off of food stamps. He just started crying when he walked out and saw that he got his own bedroom. My daughter crying because she got a door on her bedroom and didn't have to share. She has 4 brothers, didn't have to share a room with her brothers. It's another shot of our diamond home and our diamond home. This is my son, the day that we got him and brought him back home again. I mean, Young Living has given so much to me. The ability to be able to pay off his school, which was over $40,000 within a year of him getting out of that school and graduating high school. The ability to see my children grow up and not be a tired mom. Are you a tired mom? Sometimes we don't even know what our whys are, because we're so exhausted, we can't even articulate what they are. Maybe you're just fried. You don't even know what the next step is in your business because you can't see straight, because you don't have any ability to see straight or to dig out where you are. One of the greatest gifts that Young Living gave me was to be able to see these two, my second and third born kids, graduate high school and not be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, coming home completely exhausted, but to be a present mom for them. To meet Gary and I went on over a dozen trips together. And so he got to meet all of my kids, gave them what for, told them to get their starter kits, to be able to travel around the world and kiss a kangaroo in Australia, and take my platinum leaders to Spain and go on hot air balloon rides. And we've been in so many adventures since we hit the rank of diamond. And what I want to tell you is your dreams are meant to be chased. God did not put them there for no reason. He put them there because you're supposed to fight for them and not just be content where you are, but to fight from where you are, and to do better for yourself and to do better for your family, because you have what it takes to fight if you see it and you move, and don't just stay in the place where your feet are, right? So what's happened since the Salvation Army, since our Salvation Army Christmases, since going to bed with our jackets on, cuddled together in one bed, trying to stay warm with our power shut off, since digging around for a quarter to go get a loaf of bread and cut it in quarters and put it in my kids' stomachs and then go hungry for 2 or 3 days while we waited for our next paycheck, since standing in 20 degree weather in food pantry lines for 3 or 4 hours waiting for it to open up so we could get meat, since all of that, since eating chocolate pudding because it's the only thing that we were able to get for free, since all those things happened, since hitting silver, since hitting gold, since hitting platinum, since hitting diamond, what has happened to our family? I haven't really talked much about COVID and, what's happened to John and I since everything started. But I can tell you, we've been able to support 6 families. During the pandemic, we've been able to pay for my son and his wife and their 2 children and their entire home. We've been able to put 2 of our children through college, and they don't have to pay a dime and take on $70,000 in loans like we had to. We've been able to take care of my father, my alcoholic father, and pay for his home and make sure he was safe. I rescued him in 10 degree weather in Illinois in March and drove across all the states with them on lockdown and pulled him out of a school with no heat and no electricity and no running refrigerator. And he was shivering under blankets, trying to stay warm with water dripping on his head and black mold in his whole house, and brought him down here and put him in an apartment where he could breathe. And there was nothing bad for him here. And he had food in his stomach and took care of him. Diamond has given me so many things, that I cannot even put a price tag on, even beyond being able to be a present mom for my kids, even beyond getting a full 8 hours a night of sleep, even beyond putting good food on my table and nourishing my kids, nourishing their guts, taking care of my body, getting my health back by being able to invest in things that I know will get my health back. I can't even tell you all of the things that it's done. But during COVID, I've seen it magnified because I told you guys in the first boot camp that my goal was to live on 10% and tithe 90% of my income. 50% of our income right off the bat goes to support different family members, to take care of them right now, and close friends. And that's awesome. I can't even tell you. I don't know that my father would have survived the last 8 months. I don't know what my son would do. My son would be reliving my life in the projects if we didn't have the income that we have right now to protect them while he's going through college. It's incredible. I never could have done any of those things without our diamond income. Um, Being able to take care of my mama, I built under her. She's got, a platinum income right now. She just retired last month. She was making $1,200 a month working for Meals on Wheels. And now she's able to live completely off of her platinum income in Young Living. We have 800 leaders on our team right now, on the Oil Ability team. 120 of them have either retired or semi-retired because of Young Living. That is the face of freedom. It's not just the images that I've shown you. That's where this goes when you fight for it. So my question is, do you see it for yourself? You guys keep telling me I'm amazing. I'm not amazing. I serve an amazing God who loves to do big things with little people. And do you know what that means? It means that you're amazing. And it means that you have the tools and the ability and the knowledge and the wherewithal and the skill set to love on the people around you and knock down fear and walk forward. Walk forward, because this is where this goes for you. I will not stop until every single leader in Young Living that wants a diamond ship has it, whether it's writing new books, doing more boot camps, doing more training, whatever it is that facilitates you guys, gives you fire and gets you moving. Stop staying where you are. Where you are is not the best place. It's not the place where you can empower people. It is a place where you are comfortable. Okay, it's a place where you're comfortable. I want you to write down on a Post-it note tonight, I will not stay where I am comfortable. I am done with comfortable, and it's time to move. It's time to move my feet because I can see freedom, and I will not stop until I get there. And I will not stop until my leaders get there, because I'm going to fight for every single person that I see. I'm going to fight for their health. I'm going to fight for their wellness. I'm going to fight for their financial freedom. And I will never, ever give up on the people that are around me, even if it means I got to do some things that scare me, even if I have to talk to a stranger, even if I have to do a Facebook Live, because if those are the things standing between me and those pictures I just saw, if those are the things standing between me and the income disclosure guide and putting grass-fed meat on my table, if those are the things standing between me and stepping down from this job that exhausts me mentally, emotionally, physically, okay, if those are the things standing between me and my freedom, then I will not stop until freedom has been attained. It is time for me to move. The pandemic has silenced me, and I will not be silenced for another day. I'm going to get you guys moving in the next 24 hours. All right. So that's what's happened to my family since. And I believe so deeply in Young Living. I know where it goes. I know where it can go for you. The question is, do you see where it can go for you? And do you believe? Do you believe in the business? And do you believe that it's possible for you? And so I want to pause for a moment. We're in the middle of chapter 2 right now. We're doing 6 chapters. So I probably got another 10 minutes. Hang with me. I'm flying. I'll go a little shorter the next couple of nights, but it's only 5-day boot camp, so you guys can do this. I want to pray the Moses prayer over you guys. We have another prayer in Unstuck that I wrote, and I'll get to that when we do that boot camp. But I just want to pray this blessing over you. It's been 3 years since I prayed this blessing, and I would invite you guys to close your eyes, even if you don't believe in the Lord. Even if you don't believe in a great big God that can save you, it's okay to pray with me. All right. Even if you're just listening to the words, I want to put these words in your mind, because I think that freedom is the best feeling that you can get. And if you don't see it, you won't fight for it, and you won't have it as your why. So let's walk through what that looks like together. And it starts with getting rid of the things that are holding you back, with that release oil and the words of life that we're going to speak over each other right now. So dear God, I am so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for your provision. I'm thankful for the way that you've always taken care of me. There's always been enough, and we've never starved. We've never not gotten through situations. And I know it is only because of your protection and your provision over my life. So before I press for requests, I want to come to you in total thankfulness for how you've never left me, how you've never forsaken me. You have kept your promises to me, and you've stood by me through all of my bad decisions, all of my comfort levels. When I stayed, you're pushing me and I'm not moving. You still stand there with me. And the times that you've given me direction and I didn't listen, Lord, and I didn't move, I ask for forgiveness for that right now. You are Jehovah Jireh. You provide. You are Elohim. You're the ruler over all. And that means ruler over debt, ruler over my home, ruler over my children and my spouse and my marriage. You are Yahweh. You are my Lord. You are my master. And that means that I trust you. And it means that I submit to you, God. You get the glory for what happens in my life, every single drop of it. I'm just going to return all that glory to your feet because I have been provided for because of my faith and my trust in you. But God, it does not mean that I'm broken. And it does not mean that I am weary. I have so little left. I've been going at this pace for so long that I don't even remember what a normal pace feels like. I never get ahead, ever. I feel like I'm treading water and I need your help. If there is anything that I've held back from you, God, I ask for forgiveness and I release it. That's our word for tonight. That's our oil for tonight. Release. I know that you are my provider. God, I'm praying the boldest prayer that I have ever prayed in my life. I am praying release in every single facet of my life. I'm praying for more of you in everything that I do. I need release from the bondage my physical body can no longer keep up with. I need more rest. I need better health. I need better food. I'm praying for a spiritual explosion in my life that I cannot deny that you are in every single detail, that I hear your voice everywhere, that I see you in all of it. I need wisdom that comes only from you. And I can't get it unless I come to you, because the way that I'm living cannot be your plan for me. It's survival. And I call it out. I'm done with poverty. Poverty over. I'm praying for release from the financial bondage in my life, even if it's generational, because you don't call your kids to live like this. We're supposed to be pouring into widows and the sick and the poor. God, how can I do that when I don't even have enough to make it? When our car keeps dying, when our savings account with months of saving is just gone in the next emergency. Lord, I need your help. So I hand over all of my finances to you, 100%. I am done running my own money. Every single penny belongs to you. And I'm just a steward. Everything that passes through my hands belongs to you and you alone. My first fruits, my 10% will forever be given back to you faithfully through my church. And after that, Lord, speak to me and tell me how you want your money handled. I am praying the Moses blessing on my family, a blessing that is so great that our friends and family, our acquaintances, even people I've never even met are blessed just by our paths crossing. I am praying for a fountain to overflow onto others solely because you are in my life. I ask for release of it all. Release emotionally, spiritually, physically, relationally, mentally, physically, financially. I am praying release for all of it, emotional release that I carry on my shoulders, all the memories and all the blackness of the things that ever happened in the past. God, I ask you to wipe it all away and make the memories carry no more pain so I can walk, because where I am is not where you want me, and I don't want to be here either. When you're there, everything shines with you. So I need more you. I just want to focus on you and look forward me and not behind me to where I have been. I need to look in front of me. And I can only do that when you're in front of me, lighting the path. God, you're faithful and you're perfect and you miss nothing. And you promise in your word to turn all things for good, all things, not just a few things. You have a plan and you have a purpose for every friendship, every business transaction, every new leader, every moment in my life. You make no mistakes. And I trust you. I trust in your plan for my life. This is the moment right now where I release what I'm holding on to, the things that I think I can do better than you, and I hand it all over, all of it. I hold nothing back because your dreams are so much bigger than mine, and nothing is impossible with you, not even a royal crown diamond ship. So my life is yours. God, give me wisdom. Thank you in advance for answering my prayer. I'm free. I am free. I am free. I am free. Say it with me. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Poverty over. It's time for your plan because my plan isn't working. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. I give it all to you, Lord, my spouse, my family, my time, my hands, my voice, my feet, my gifts, my talents, my finances, my friendships, my faith. My God, I lay it all at your feet to be used for your glory, and I ask for release. Release me to do what I have been called and created to do. No more survival mode. I am yours. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Right? I'm free. Whew. All right. We even prayed that together in 3 years, and that felt super good. Super, super, super good. Guys, I fled for freedom. I fled New York 8 months ago for freedom, and I have never, ever looked back. I am in South Carolina. I am helping my family. Never could I have done that without my diamond income. But part of that comes release, right? Comes release. That is what the face of freedom looks like. And so share freedom. Share freedom with the people around you, if anything, not for you, but for them, right? For your kids, for your spouse. Why do you fight every day? What is the reason that you're out here teaching the classes when you're tired? If you don't know what your why is, you're not going to get up and you're not going to fight for it, right? And so that's what freedom looks like. That's the face of freedom. And if you need to pray that prayer again, it is up on my website. Just go under share. You'll see the Moses blessing. Print it out. Pray it over yourself every single day of this boot camp, okay? Because you are free. You are free. You don't need to live in that place anymore. Now what we're going to do is a 90-second teacher training. Then I'm going to train you in a couple of pitfalls that will slow your business down and a couple of excuses. And I'm going to give you the 2-button VO tour. And we have done 6 chapters in Game Plan tonight, which is crazy. So I'm going to give you some nuts and bolts. It's not as fun as praying together, and it's not as fun as looking at the face of freedom, but bear with me because it's going to give you some tools and resources that are really going to get your business off the ground. So if you've not made it to my website recently, I really want to challenge you to head over there because there's so many free things on the page. You just go to oilabilityteam.com. Once you go to share, you're going to see the classes right here: 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 NINGSHA, 104 CBD. And we're about to add the 105 kids class. Pretty awesome. Unstuck teacher training is new. This is only a week old. If you go to the first teacher training, this is what I do every single time a leader comes to me and says, I just don't even know how to build the business. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what Young Living is. All right, let's show you. Let's show you what Young Living is in 90 seconds. So I give 6 little points on an overview. It's one piece of paper, front and back, totally free. Print it off, sit down in front of somebody, train a new leader. Bam. Right. So when I'm teaching my one-on-one classes, I say, do you want to learn how to get your oils for free? They say, booyah, absolutely. I want to learn how to get my oils for free. I say, okay, I want you to go read this book. It's called the Game Plan Mini. Only prospecting book in Young Living. It's the only one that exists. It's called Build a Life Beyond Survival Mode. You can get on my website, super cheap. It's like $1 a book. And I hand it out in my one-on-one classes, and it shares the story of what John and I walk through poverty, and it plants a seed of hope in the people that are sitting in your classes. And I say, read that book and then get with me in the next 2 or 3 days and let's do a teacher training. And then we sit down and I give them this one piece of paper. It's not game plan. It's not Unstuck. It's not any book. It's just this one sheet of paper because my goal is to get them teaching within 2 days of doing this training. So the first thing I do is I show them what Diamond Rising looks like, right? Diamond Rising, if you guys have heard that word in Young Living, we coined that word in Game Plan. That word was written for the first time in this book. And it is a prophecy spoken over you of where your feet are going. And so what I do is just look at the income disclosure guide. And this is easy. You can just hop on Google and type in Young Living Income Disclosure Guide. It'll pop right up. Average star, these are the ranks in Young Living: star, senior star, executive, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, crown, and royal crown diamond. So star makes about $21 a month, senior star $129. By executive, you're already paying for your ER order easily. Senior star, you're paying for your ER order, $319 a month. Silver, average silver in Young Living makes $1,321 a month. This is what I call the game changer income. This is when you look at it and say, okay, all right, this has got my attention. This is getting to the point where it's near what I'm making with my job. So what is this Young Living thing and where does it go? So my goal is to get you to silver and get you the silver bound bonuses, because I want you to see what you are capable of when you get out there and show hope, share hope with people. Gold's $3,900 a month, platinum $9,800 a month, diamond $26,000 a month, crown diamond $50,000 a month. John and I are right outside crown diamond right now. Royal crown diamond $128,000 a month. What? Like, what would you do with that? Where would you go? I've had people say, Sarah, I don't need that kind of money. That's crazy. I mean, geez, this would be enough to change my life. Silver would be enough to change my life. Executive would be enough to change my life. $300 a month. Well, what if I told you the income you're making right now doesn't belong to you? It belongs to God. Even if it's $100 a month, it belongs to God. And you're a steward of that income. So if he gives you this much, it just means you've been faithful with a little and he's making you roll over more. Right? It means that he's trusting you with more so that you can impact more lives and change more people. And I don't know about you, but I want to be used. So why do Young Living business? We went through this earlier. No income ceiling. You're your own boss. You get time off and still get paid. They're easy to share, oils, because they're consumable. You see the people around you experience financial freedom as they teach. You build time economy where you can be a present mom, a present dad. Build relationships with those that love natural health. And it doesn't matter how many people you know, because of friends, which you're going to train on in these intensives. You don't have to know hundreds of people. You don't have to be good at speaking. You just got to click on a PowerPoint slide and read it. That's it. You don't even have to have your face full screen. You just click on the slide. There's many ways to build and willable income, which I think is the best perk in all of Young Living. How do you get paid? Super easy. 4 ways. Starter kit bonus is $50 every single kit you sell. Fast Start is 25% everything they order after the kit. So if they get the kit and they get the Thieves Essential Rewards bundle, you're going to get about $35 just from that bundle. So you get $50 for the kit and you get $35 from the Thieves ER bundle if you have them get that. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's $85 a person. And say you have 3 people in one class do that, and the class took you 45 minutes to teach, you just made $255 in one class. Pretty crazy, right? After 12 weeks, 3 months, they slip into the unilevel system and you get paid 8% on the people that are directly under you. They're called your level 1s, 5% on your level 2s, and 4% on your level 3s, 4s, and 5s. And, that's pretty awesome. I mean, my unilevel is almost half of my paycheck as a diamond. Average diamond's $26,000 a month. So you do the math. And then there's silver bound bonuses. You get bonuses on top of all of that for strategizing your team in a certain way and hitting certain time benchmarks. And we're going to train on silver bound tomorrow night. You do not want to miss that. So the rank qualification chart from the virtual office, this is some really simple strategy coaching. This is how you rank up. So I gave you the 9 ranks in Young Living. And if you log into your virtual office, you will see them across your screen when you click on the rank qualification button. And we already read through them. So there's 4 things you have to do. These are the ranks. These are the 4 things you have to do to rank up. First thing is to spend 100 PV, and that never changes, whether you're star or Royal Crown Diamond, always the same. And it's because you can't train on the product if you're not using the product. Second thing is your volume, your OGV. So, this resets in the first of every single month. And OGV is organization group volume, and it's your purchase and the purchase of every single person underneath you. So star, that's $500 a month. Senior star is $2,000, executives $4,000 every month. Silver is $10,000, gold is $35,000, platinum's $100,000. Diamond is $250,000 every single month. Crown Diamond, which is where John and I are, almost $750,000 a month. Royal, $1.5 million every single month. Look at how many families have been helped with that. And then the third requirement is legs. So with a leg, you have a person and a team, and a person and a team. For executive, you have 2 legs doing 1,000 in sales each. Silver, 2 legs, same 2 legs, doing 4,000 each. Gold, you add a 3rd leg and they're doing 6,000 each. Platinum, you add a 4th leg at 8,000 each. Diamond, you add a 5th leg at 15,000 each. Crown is a 6th leg at 20,000 each. And Royal, you take those 6 legs and you advance them to 35. And that's basically 6 legs at gold level, and you're now a Royal Crown Diamond. PGV is volume outside your legs, and you don't need that until you hit the rank of silver. So the 5th thing in your teacher training is to log in and do a quick virtual office training. And so what I do is, if it's just a product user, I have them log in and show them the getting started tab, and I want them to watch all those videos, and I show them how to place an essential rewards order versus a shop order. If it is a business builder, I show them the rank qualification button, which I just showed you, and I click on my organization because that's how you watch your team. So rank qualifications, how you watch you. My organization's how you watch your team, because I want them to see how to strategize to be able to hit the next rank. So homework number 1, teach your first class. And you're like, what? I can't do that. Like, Sarah, I just had the teacher training. Well, you know strategy. You know how you get paid. You understand the income disclosure guide, right? We did that all in 3 minutes. And so I want you to read the mini. If you have not gotten your hands on this bad boy, this isn't game plan. It's a little tiny mini. It's called Build a Life Beyond Survival Mode. Go read that before our next little coaching session. And then the second coaching session, I train on follow-up, which is what our topic is tomorrow night, is how to people with people. And I train them how to teach a class. So we do what's called IWU University, and that wraps up all the teacher training. So IWU University means I teach a class, we teach a class, you teach a class. So we go to the 101 oils button, and you scroll down to the PowerPoint, and you click on that PowerPoint and you download that bad boy. We had a 12-year-old teach this PowerPoint of their own volition. I just do a direct download. It's going to pop up down at the bottom of the page and start downloading. And I just open up the PowerPoint and I read the slides. And that is how you teach a 101 class. So I make sure that I teach the 101 class to them. Then a day or two later, they get their mama in the class, and they, I read the class, and maybe they read the very end of the PowerPoint with the oils that are in the starter kit. And then they teach a class a day or two later, and I just sit in and encourage them. So if I click on the PowerPoint, I just downloaded that in about 40 seconds. And here it is. Welcome to Essential Oils 101. This is a power-packed, fun, educational training time to show you all things oils and all things young living, right? And you go through your personal story. What are oils? How do I use oils? Little history. Do they work? Seed to seal explained in 2 minutes. What about purity? Can I buy oils at the grocery store? And then we go through the starter kit. Super easy. Just click, read, click, read, click, read. That's how hard it is to build your business. I did that 288 times, and then we hit the rank of diamond. Okay, 288 times I taught an oils class, and that was how I got to diamond. So it wasn't from, paying for fancy, expensive training, $1,000 a pop. It wasn't all these really cool things. It was just sitting down and script, kit, human, repeat. That was how I grew my organization. So you know where the PowerPoints are. You know how to find them on my website. Super easy, easier than when I first released Game Plan. We've worked 2 years in the development of those PowerPoints, professionally designed. You have a teacher training to lead your brand new leaders. Take all your stars through that and make it a goal of getting them to senior star in the month of November, in the next month, in the next 30 days. It's pretty awesome. So we prayed the Moses prayer. We did an entire teacher training. And your homework is in the next 48 hours. Go do a teacher training with one of your leaders and go read that 101 script, that oil script, to somebody on your team. What would happen if you did all 4 of those PowerPoints with every person on your team? Your OGV would go, you would absolutely blow it up, because you're giving product education. You're empowering people. Right? You're empowering people. So chapter 4, we're going to do these chapters in a minute each. And then I'm going to make a smoothie for you right in front of you. And then we're going to wrap up the training for tonight. All right. Chapter 4 is avoiding pitfalls. So these are the 6 mistakes that every single stagnant business builder makes. When you're stuck, it's likely one of these 6 things. And if you want a little bit more meat on this, I would recommend, because there's more meat in Game Plan, grab the book and just get lost in this chapter if this is one of the things that's holding you back. So they don't have a strong close. You share about oils, and then you don't tell them how to get the starter kit. That's really important. All right, you've got to lead them to the kit. If you're using the PowerPoints, the close is built right in. They keep tapping to the same friend circle. So you ask your mom, your best friend, your sister. Mom, best friend, sister. Mom, best friend, sister, one person at church, right? You need to expand your friend circles just a little bit more. Stop asking the same people. They don't market enough or give enough lead time. Hey, come to my class in an hour. Maybe they can't. They don't treat their business as a business. So you guys want to rank up, but you're not teaching class, and it's been 6 months since you got an oils class or an oil in front of another human being. You're not going to rank up if that's what's happening. Right? You have to be consistently sharing oils every single week, even if you're just setting aside an hour. You have to consistently share if you want to see growth in your business. You don't have a system of following up. And that's what we're committing tomorrow night to, is some follow-up training and humans, how to deal with all the humans, right? We'll talk a little bit about Diamond Rising deck cards when we get to the Unstuck Intensive. And you get distracted, you get busy. You know, the nice thing is it doesn't take 40 hours a week to build a Young Living business. I built all the way to Diamond with 2 or 3 hours a week. I've never put in a 40-hour week, even as almost a crown diamond. I've never put in that much time. So if you need a follow-up system, try the Diamond Rising deck. We'll do some training on that. You know, you need to identify your weaknesses to find your pitfalls. If you are needing to give more lead time to people, but you're forgetting to invite them, set an alarm on your phone to remind them of the next class. We actually have graphics to market your classes on every single one of those pages with the PowerPoints. If you don't have a strong close, then just practice the PowerPoint so the close feels natural to you. If you don't commit time to teach, then be deliberate about it. Swap kids. Have your husband take your kids 1 hour a week so you can teach a Zoom class to 3 women. You know, teach on Zoom when your kids go to bed. Whatever that looks like for you. Here's the deal. You got to find a way around your mountain. If you keep saying, well, I can't do it because I have kids. I can't do it because I'm busy. I can't do it because I'm distracted. I can't do it. What you're saying is, I can't get to Diamond. I can't get to freedom. I'm going to stay where I am. Until you stop saying that stuff over yourself, you will never be anywhere but where you are right now. You have to fight your way out, and nobody can fight your way out except for you. Your upline can't fight the way out for you. Your sister can't fight the way out for you. Your husband can't come in and save you. You are the one that gets the shovel, gets the ladder, and digs yourself out of the hole that you're in right now. And I'm standing in front of you after living 12 years in the project saying it can be done, but only if you stop telling me all the stuff that you're telling me and start moving your feet, start committing to action. Say, you know what? I just got a script tonight. I just got a teacher training tonight. I have 10 people on my team. I now have 40 classes to teach with 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD. I'm going to have 50 when she releases the kids class. I have 2 people that have shared oils with other people. They haven't had a teacher training. They haven't read the Game Plan Mini. I'm going to get that in front of them. I'm going to empower them, and I'm going to do a training with them and get them teaching classes within 48 hours, because I am done being where I am. It's time for my feet to move. I'm not letting another excuse leave my lips, because I want freedom, and I'm going to fight for freedom. And it's worth committing an hour a week. It's worth committing 2 hours a week. I can find an hour just in the time spending scrolling social media. Commit the time. Be faithful, be consistent, be disciplined, and you will see results. So my notes on excuses: I don't know any people. I'm not a news anchor like you, Sarah. I can't do the things you're doing. I don't have the influence that you have. I don't have the money to start a business. I can't stand in front of people. I got kids. I've got no babysitter. I just work too many hours. I'm working 68 hours a week. There's no way to do this. I don't want anybody in my house. I don't like to sell stuff. Guys, I had every single one of those reasons. Every single one of those things was part of my story. I'd moved across the country. I didn't know anybody. I lived 7 states from the state where I had grown up. You know, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm working 40 to 60 hours a week. We're living in the projects. We have, $20 a week to live on. I didn't have money to start my business. I just moved. I didn't know any people. Definitely had no money in my bank account. That stuff is going to own you until you decide to flip it around and say, you know what, Satan, I'm not giving you a hold of my life anymore. I'm done. I'm done with all that stuff. The reality is, I need a script, I need a human, I need a kit, and I need a repeat. Script, kit, human, repeat. If I can just keep doing that with the faces that I know, the people that I love, the friends of the people that I love, I can build something pretty amazing with this. I don't need a couple $1,000s in my bank account. I don't need a friends list, hundreds and hundreds of names long. I need one person that I care about. I need their friend circle. I need a script. I have a script up on the oilabilityteam.com website. So I have every single thing that I need. I'm going to mama bear you on this, and I'm going to call you out on the excuses, because you are letting them keep you from freedom, and you don't need to do that anymore. All right. How much do you want to be out from where you are? You are letting that stuff keep you from being a Young Living Diamond. So you got to find a way around the mountain. You got to problem solve, or you're going to stay exactly in the storm. Young Living has to be a priority. It's either a priority or it's not a priority. So write down on a Post-it note, Young Living is a priority. This is how I get more time for my children. Do you know how many people wrote me after Game Plan and said, I can't do Young Living business because I need more time with my kids? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. This is the thing that gets you more time with your kids. Like, okay, so you're going to stay where you are and not having more time with your kids, and not build something that's going to give you more time with your kids, right? I need to be able to, I need more income coming into my house. So I'm going to pick up another job. Huh? Well, now you have no time to be able to build a business because you're doing 2 jobs. You're working 40 hours a week. But this is the thing that gets you out of that, right? So here's the thing, find somebody who did it before you and learn from them. And if their way doesn't work for you, then you find another person with a way that does. So what does freedom look like for you? Rest, healing, time with your kids, family, desires of your heart, debt load, gone, ability to help others, taken off the edge. Isn't that worth fighting for? Finding 2 hours a week to share? Isn't it worth getting on a Zoom call if you can't do it in person? Isn't it worth building the relationship and standing on top of fear? I don't want to sell stuff. Well, that's great. Me either. I don't want to either, but I love empowering women and I love helping them make better choices. And if that's your jam, protecting families, then you're in the right company. So I debunk all of those excuses at length in chapter 5. So you go check it out. Chapter 6, the VO and a smoothie. And I already gave you a little VO tour. If you want a long form VO tour, I told you we can only do the highlights in this game plan boot camp, but pop on here. So for the purposes of a power training, we're not going to go line by line through the VO, but Game Plan does. It is the only book that takes you line by line by line through the VO if you don't know what all the buttons do. So when I train a new leader, I told you the only buttons that I show them on: how to watch you, how to watch your team, right? My organization, rank qualification. Because all the techie training is stressful, I like to make food. So I am going to, part of falling in love with Young Living is falling in love with a lifestyle. So what we're going to end with tonight is a little smoothie training. And you're going to think I'm off my rocker. I'm going to unplug my computer and I'm going to walk my computer over to my kitchen and I'm going to make a smoothie right in front of you. One of the things that you're going to see on this page is a lot more training in lifestyle, right? Because you're empowering people when you are showing them how much this lifestyle absolutely matters. And so for me, one of the things that had to go for me was I cut my lifestyle of giving my kids sugar cereal because I don't want them to have sugar in their diet. So how would you like to see me make a smoothie in 60 seconds? Because you can make a smoothie super fast and then throw all your sugar cereal away. And this recipe is in the middle of the chapter on the virtual office. You're like, all right, Sarah, super weird, but no, it's not super weird. So I take my blender, got it right here. I'm gonna slide it over so you guys can see it even a little better. There's my blender. In my blender, I am going to put some mango. I like to put about 2 cups of mango in, and so I'm going to take my mangoes, and it's really good if you use the frozen fruit. I put 6 servings of spinach in, so here's my spinach, and your kids are getting greens. It's so super good for them. Pop all the greens in. I'm not going to do a cooking lesson at the end of every single boot camp night, but do you see how much greens I put in my blender? Look at that. That's crazy. Then I'm going to put in about 2 cups of frozen fruit. This is the only like sugary thing that they're getting is the sweetness from the fruit, because I don't even use yogurt that's sweet. So I put about 2 cups in. Mangoes is our favorite, so this is my favorite one to put in. That's about 2 cups, and frozen will give it a really nice consistency. Then I put in a packet of Ningxia Red. Oh, my 19-year-old son's over here. So I put in a packet of Ningxia Red. I'll cut that over. Some of you guys may not be able to afford Ningxia for your kids, and that's okay. Maybe if you're making them a smoothie 3-4 days a week, you put a packet in. That's a lot more affordable way. Then I'm going to put in yogurt. My favorite is Stonyfield's yogurt. I love the whole milk vanilla one. It's super, super good. So I'm going to put this in, and I actually like a little bit more yogurt than just this. I'm going to grab another one of these yogurts out of my fridge because I like to put about half of one of these containers in. And the last thing I'm going to add in is some Pure Protein Complete. So that is from Young Living. So you're getting, the benefit of greens. You're getting the benefit of that fruit. You're getting probiotics from the yogurt. You're getting, 25 grams of protein, which is super good for them. You open up the Pure Protein Complete, and it's all in one little container. So I'll take 2 scoops of my protein. Here's 1, and here's 2. Now my son gets super mad at me if I put any liquid in this because he says it makes it too liquidy. So if you like it thicker, you can add a little bit of avocado to make it thicker. So this is my smoothie. This is what my kids are getting: Ningxia Red, greens, probiotics, protein. This is a better choice than giving them sugar, right? You don't want sugar in their diet. So I put that in there, put the lid on. It's going to get kind of loud here for a minute. And we're going to make the best smoothie on the earth. It's so good. Here we go. Let it go maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Looking super good. Bam. And here's my smoothie. It smells like mangoes. We call this mango cream. I don't want to dump it on my computer, but there it is, right? How long did that take me? 90 seconds to put that together. Now my kids have an amazing breakfast. They're going to be super happy that I made that because I haven't made them any dinner tonight yet. So it's smoothie for dinner, right? All right, so there you go. 60-second smoothie class. We just eradicated your need for all that bread in the morning, waffles, bagels. You know, you just gave your kids protein. They're going to be able to think through school. Much better choice. So here's your homework for tonight. I want you to read chapters 1 to 6. You're like, Sarah, it's so late. I can't read chapters 1 to 6. Read what you can. All right, whatever you can is good. Download the teacher training. Train somebody near you. Download the 101 class. Practice it. Teach somebody in your circle over the next 48 hours. And if you're a higher level leader, senior star, executive, make a list of the people on your team and make sure all of them get the core 4 classes in the next 30 days. Get them in some group trainings and do it. And then I want you to write out your why. Put some tangible, specific goals down. I want to increase my grocery budget by $100 in the next week. You know, I want to afford a $400 monthly ER order in the next 8 weeks. Put that goal front and center, because if you treat your business as a business, you're going to get paid as a business. I have a ton of giveaways on my page if you're watching this live. So when I wrap this up, I'm going to go pick winners for all of them. So what's coming tomorrow for night 2 will be about half of the time that we went tonight. This was just our opening night. I'm going to give you a preview of the kids class tomorrow. That one's coming up, and I'm going to tell you about some new things I have coming down the pipeline. Every single night, I'm going to pick 3 questions, business questions, and I'm going to answer them really quickly. So for tonight, Diali Justo, D-Y-A-L-I Justo says, I'm so excited. So is my team. I'm claiming for a breakthrough. We have a God who keeps his promises, and this training is an answered prayer. I love you. You were so awesome. So for our questions, so you're one of my winners. So email me at oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com and I'll get a little gift in the mail to you. Julie Segarra, Segarra says, how do you approach people and comfortably share oils with them? How do you go up to them? You're the need meter. All right. You listen to what their needs are. And we're going to be hashing this out big time, especially over the Unstuck Intensive. You have to have an eye to listen to the things that they need and speak to that place. What I love to say is, I think this is the answer you've been looking for. Right? I think this is the answer you've been looking for. Unstuck Bootcamp Intensive is coming up in the next month, so stay looking for that. Getting your team engaged and guiding them to essential rewards and enrollment. With that, the key is silver bond bonuses. If they see a paycheck, if they get one person under them, they're 90% more likely to not drop off your team. So get one person underneath them. So Julie, those are my quick answers for you. Casey, my third person tonight, says, I want most to learn how to attract builders. All I do is at the end of my 101 classes, I say, do you want to know how to get your oils for free? And I hand them a Game Plan Mini, and I invite them to a teacher training. Just that one step got me 800 builders in 2 years. So plant a seed of freedom in front of them and see where that leads. So for night 2, tomorrow night, I hope you guys come back. It's been an awesome evening together. We're going to talk about how to fill classes without knowing people, the anatomy of a successful class, and how to do follow-up. So you know who you are. You know the blood that you have in your veins. You know that you are a diamond rising. I love you guys. Thank you for surviving night 1. I'm going to go enjoy this amazing smoothie with my kiddos, and I'll see you guys same bat time, same bat channel for night 2 tomorrow. Oh, I think my kids want to say bye to you. There goes one.
I just want food.
They just want there they are. Woohoo! We love you guys. This is what freedom looks like. Look at that baby right there. See you tomorrow night, guys.